Okay, Assalamualaikum. Today we're going to present about training principle. The principle of training can be divided into overload, specificity, reversibility, the influence of gender and initial fitness level, and also the influence of genetic. The training of principles are important as it can improve the athlete's performance, skill, and also physical fitness.
Okay, untuk yang pertama ada principle of training overload. Overload principle refer to fact that an organ system, example cardiovascular or skeletal system, must be exercised at level beyond which customized in order to achieve training adaptation. Thus, the system tissue gradually adapt to this overload. Typical yang menyebabkan sistem overload adalah intensity, duration, frequency dia per week of exercise. Maksudnya terlebih intensity, level duration, frequency of exercise akan menyebabkan overload of the system. The organ system which is cardiovascular and skeletal muscle akan increase in capacity to respond to training overload. So dia akan menyebabkan training program ni akan stress the system above the level. While training overload is required to achieve improvement in performance, too much overload akan without sufficient time for recovery akan menyebabkan overtraining. Maksudnya overload, lebihan exercise which is increase frequency, duration and time akan menyebabkan lead to overtraining. Apa tu overtraining?
Okay. Overtraining an accumulation of training stress that impair an athlete's ability to perform training session and result in long-term decrement of performance. So overtraining ni dia akan impact athlete ability to fully perform. Okay, next. Overtraining are commonly associated with both physiological and physiological symptoms. So overtraining ni akan lead to chronic fatigue. It requires several weeks of
Okay, saya sambung. Kalau tu lost connection. Okay, overtraining ni associated with chronic fatigue, mood disturbance. So recovery from overtraining can restore performance capacity but may require several weeks or months to reduce exercise training. Overreaching juga akan menyebabkan overtraining. Overreaching adalah excessive training that lead to short-term decrement in performance with adequate rest interval between training sessions. This type of training can lead to improved performance. So ni overload and overreaching akan menyebabkan overload in training in exercise, overreaching and overtraining. Sama.
Okay, untuk specificity, training must be specific to the sport or the aspect of fitness that athlete want to improve. Athletes have to train specifically to the energy system and skill requirements needed for their sport. Okay, training program should not only use those muscle groups engaged during competition, but also the energy system that will be providing the ATP. Okay, exercise training ni spesifik bukan untuk muscle je lah maksudnya kan. untuk energy juga, and then velocity of contraction, type of contraction, and then also types of muscle adaptation which occur as a result of training.
Okay, according to apa ni? Specificity yang dekat 5 tadi tu, type of contraction, type of muscle adaptation. Macam contoh, muscle engage, kalau muscle tu engage in endurance exercise training, dia punya adaptation dia akan increase in capillary density and also mitochondria volume pun akan increase. So, benda ni akan increase the capacity of muscle untuk produce energy. Lepas tu kalau type of exercise tu resistance training, heavy resistance training, dia punya adaptation tu akan increase in the quantity of contractile proteins in skeletal muscle.
Okay, untuk reversibility, reversibility ni boleh akan terjadi bila athletes tu lost the effect of training after they stop the training session. When the training stop, rapid decline in fitness will occur within 2 weeks, where there will be reduction in VO2 max and maximal cardiac output. And approximately during the retraining period, muscle strength also will lose about 10%, while 30 to 40% of endurance will lose after 8 weeks due to inactivity.
Okay, next. For example, athlete yang, for example, if an athlete has put on 10 kg of muscle in 1 month, then get injured, so they will lose the muscle very quickly. So the impact of reversibility on aerobic training can be seen for 4 to 6 weeks after training stop, while the effect on resistance training can be seen after 2 weeks. Contohnya, maksudnya atlet yang angkat berat akan lebih, kalau dia stop buat training, dia akan lebih cepat hilang dia punya muscle and the power of the muscle berbanding dengan atlet yang buat macam long distance punya exercise. So to maintaining to get the reversibility, they must maintain 2 sessions of aerobic training per week, and some level of training during the off season or when injured can help avoid reversibility.
Untuk influence gender and initial fitness level, it was found that women had higher quality of life and exercise level compared to men, as they intended to lose weight, and while men are exercising as an enjoyment. Kat sini dia tunjuk perempuan lebih banyak exercise compared to lelaki sebab perempuan lebih target untuk lose weight compared to men untuk suka-suka aktiviti lapang. And then the exercise prescription between both gender not suggested to be identical, which is frequency, intensity dengan volume untuk men dengan women tak sepatutnya sama sebab dia punya level maturation, fitness level dengan maturation of athletes between both gender different.
Alright. Atas sikit. Alright, current research showed that both men and women respond to training program. Same general approach to physiological conditioning can be used in planning program for both gender. Individual training programs should be designed properly and appropriately to match the level of fitness and maturations of the athlete regardless the gender. The amount of training improvement is always greater in those who are less conditioned at the beginning of the training programs. Okay, for example, sedentary middle-aged with heart disease may improve their VO2 max by as much as 50% with the same training program to normal active adult, where they improve by only 10 to 20% of VO2 max. Similarly, conditioned athlete may improve their level of condition by only 3 to 5% following an increase in training intensity.
So for the next one is influence of genetics. So there's this one quote by Astrid and Rodel. Dia cakap, if you want to become a world-class athlete, you must choose your parents wisely. So this shows that genetics pun main peranan untuk improve kepada training lah. Sebab some people, they are called high responders in training. And some people, they are called as low responders training. Maksud responders ni adalah those high responders, dia akan improve their fitness levels more quickly daripada low responders athlete. So that's why setiap athlete berbeza-beza dari segi amount of work yang diorang berikan, and there is a need to have an individualized program for each athlete. Sebab tak semua athlete tu dia akan increase dia punya amount of work pada kadar yang sama. That's why perlunya individualized program ni. Untuk poin yang kedua, there is a limitation of training in aerobic power. So individual with limited genetic features for aerobic power, dia tak boleh nak grow their VO2 max to a world class level with any training program. Next point. Okay, so for tadi aerobic, yang ni anaerobic pula. So genetik pun peranan untuk anaerobic, contohnya activity such as sprinting. So anaerobic capacity ni dia paling largely genetically influenced lah. Sebabnya training brings little amount of improvement in anaerobic performance. Majority contribution daripada anaerobic ni adalah dependent daripada fast fiber, which is type 2X, which yang fiber ni adalah dah develop daripada early phase of development. That's why genetic plays an influence lah in training. Next, I pass kepada Syed.
Okay, next is genetics plays a role in developing power and endurance. Genetik yang important dalam developing this power and endurance is ACE. ACE ni pula is important in RAS, which is renin, angiotensin, aldosterone. RAS ni involved in circulatory homeostasis, skeletal muscle growth and cardiovascular function. Sama macam point yang atas tadi, early phase of development. Dia akan ada fast twitch, dia akan ada type 2X punya muscle. And dengan genetik dia, influence sama ada orang tu boleh jadi world class punya athletes or not. So it is stated that those with these genes has an increased aerobic capacity suitable with endurance punya sport. So the next type of gene is ACTN3. Dia situated dalam glycolytic skeletal muscle, thus dia involved dalam powerful muscle contraction. So ACTN3 ni shows significance for athletes with fast twitch muscle. Yang powerful muscle contraction tu boleh jadi macam heavy lifting, sprint, DLL dan lain-lain. So.
As for summary, the overload principle from the above statement refer to the human body system and muscle must be exercised or stressed at a level beyond the custom expectation in order to achieve training adaptation. Too much overload without sufficient time for recovery can result in overtraining, and overtraining can lead to decline of an athlete's ability to perform training session and result in long-term decrement of performance. But overload and overtraining can give a good result. Reversibility is a loss of gain after stopping for a period of time, and the effect takes place after 2 weeks. Repeat decline in fitness will occur within 2 weeks, where the reduction in VO2 max and maximum cardiac output. Not to forget that an athlete will up on the resistance training also will be lost within 2 weeks. Muscle strength, we lost about 10%, while 30 to 40% of endurance we lost after 8 weeks due to inactivity. Specificity principle indicate that training effect is limited to the muscle fiber involved, energy system involved, velocity of contraction and type of contraction. In addition, the muscle adapt specifically to the type of activity, as example, mitochondrial and capillary adaptation to endurance training and contractile protein adaptation to resistive weight training. Genetic factor is an important role to determine performance level in anaerobic and aerobic performance. There is no improvement from any training for a person lacking genetic features in aerobic training, but little improvement can be seen in anaerobic training.
Alright, Doctor, done from us.
Okay, thank you very much, team. All right.